what's going on? It's Jesse here. I got a message for you about walking in the Spirit. You see, the Bible tells us to walk in the Spirit, to live by the Spirit, to keep in step with the Spirit, and to be filled with the Spirit. But how do you do this? Here's a great picture in the Old Testament of what this looked like. In the Old Testament, the Israelites, they were called to leave the land of Exodus and go to the Promised Land, and God guided them by a pillar of fire and by a cloud. The fire was by night and the cloud was by day, and they were called to follow this fire, follow this cloud, to take every step based on God's leadership. Instead of taking their own leadership, they had to wait on God for the leadership of the fire and the cloud. And I tell you the truth, so many of us, I included, we take steps in front of God instead of waiting on the cloud, instead of waiting on the fire. Instead of waiting on God's direction, we settle for our own suggestions, our own directions, our own ideas. And you know what? We think in the flesh. We think of what serves me instead of what serves God. And we get in front of God like Peter when he stepped in front of Jesus and said, Lord, I don't want you to be crucified. It's never going to happen to you. And Jesus said, get your mind, get behind me, Satan, for you're setting your mind on the things of man, not the things of God. So to walk in the Spirit is to set your mind on the things of God, to set your mind on what He's doing, the pillar of fire in the cloud, waiting on Him, stepping back instead of being quick to step forward. I don't want to make another major decision in my life without prayer. I don't want to do this without first praying about it. I don't want to do this without first seeking God's wisdom, because wisdom that's earthly is demonic and unspiritual, according to James chapter 3. I want to wait on God for His wisdom before I act. So to walk in the Spirit is to wait on God before you make decisions, to be dependent on Him, to move when He says to move, and to go when He says to go.